Okay, so happy to have Anand Kulkarni ji with us today, and he is one of the leaders as far as the EV program at Tata Motors is concerned. Long-term veteran of the company, and we are going to hear a little bit from the horse's mouth as far as the Tiago is concerned. So, घोड़े की रेस शुरू करते हैं. So, first question to you, Anand ji, is 8.5 lakhs is mind-blowing. Right?
Thank you.
It's kind of shaken up a lot of people, and it's going to be a game changer as far as the EV industry, not just maybe in India but worldwide is concerned. The question that comes to everybody's mind is, how much money are you losing per car at 8.5 lakhs? Can you make money at that kind of price point with $200 per kilowatt hour?
So I wouldn't give you any numbers, but all that I can tell you is, business cases in the automotive industry are a balance of the ability to penetrate, the ability to gain market share, and the ability to have a proper business case. Yeah, you cannot stray endlessly in one particular direction. Otherwise, it's not going to be feasible. And therefore, all that I can say is, the entire thing has been structured, the entire pricing has been structured in order to reflect this balance.
Okay.
And therefore,
so in a way, Anand, can I say that maybe you're viewing it as a loss leader of sorts, where you could say, okay, theek hai, get people used to this concept of electric, and once that happens, we could kind of see how the market kind of shapes up. And like for example, we're seeing even with the removal of subsidy, we still have seen sales not being affected.
Yeah. So all that I would say is, there are ways and means to do it. The balance has to be struck right. Is it a loss leader kind of a situation? I don't know what a loss leader means, but I can tell you that it's not a situation where something is being done for charity.
Okay.
There's definitely not this kind of a stuff, right. But there is a balance. Of course, there has to be a balance in everything that we do. So we've said two things today, and we need to understand this. First of all, it's an introductory price for the first 10,000 vehicles. The second one is, it's coming from a reputed company. What we have seen is people in the EV space, in the EV four-wheeler space, tend to go more towards premiumness and the availability of features. People are not wanting to say that I want to have the most accessible product. People want features, people want performance, people want range, and therefore let's see. This is also a way of understanding how our customers are going to react, and it is precisely for this reason that we are going to have this 3-month period, which then allows us to understand, the discover, and then plan, of course.
So in a way, what you're saying is that it is value and not price that matters.
Correct.
Right, and hopefully customers will do a job of figuring out what the value is. Right. Okay. Now, one of the other questions that's kind of possibly going to come up in terms of a lot of people's mind is that, when you're comparing this with the Tigor, right? And again, you're looking at the price at which the Tigor comes, right? So do you expect that there will be an impact on Tigor sales because, you're giving more features than the Tigor, right? You got cruise control here, you got levels of regen, you got rain sensing wipers, which the Tigor does not have. Why would I pay a couple of lakhs extra for a Tigor?
So, fair question, and therefore it is imperative from our perspective also to do something more on the Tigor so that value equation comes back. And I would just say hold on for a few more days because we might have something to share.
Okay. Right. So as a Tigor user, I would definitely kind of be looking forward to things like the over-the-air updates that you talked about as far as the Tigor is concerned, cruise control, etc. So those of you who already have Tigors, Anand's message is don't get disappointed. Good news coming your way. Let's wait and watch. Right. Okay. So Anand, I drove the car for a short while, and my first reactions is it's kind of handles a little bit better than the Tigor. Probably, I don't know, is the wheelbase a bit shorter compared to
the wheelbase is a little bit shorter.
So it's kind of easier to turn, a little bit lighter. So I kind of, but from the looks of it, one thing which I have a feeling right? And I'll probably justify it when you have a longer drive, is the watt hours per kilometer is not significantly different.
Yeah.
The weight is also not significantly different. You've got about 100 kg difference in weight, and probably for the 24 kg pack, 24 kWh pack, even that would be lesser, right? And normally one would have expected that for a smaller car, I would have probably looked at a ballpark figure of about 80-90 watt hours per kilometer in real life.
Okay.
But I think this one will give between 90 and 100, which I get in my own Tigor as well. So what's the thing? Why couldn't we have had better efficiency coming out of this particular smaller car?
So already you are having better efficiency.
Okay.
The Tigor is at a 26 kilowatt hour battery. This is a 24 kilowatt hour battery, so that's about 8-9% gone there. This car is certified. The range is almost the same. The range is probably 3-4% here and there. 306 versus 315.
Okay.
So you already see that you are slightly better off. Now, how much better do you want to get is a question. Can we do anything better? Answer is probably yes. But at this point of time, with the available technology that we have in hand, we think that this is a very, very well optimized, very efficient way of doing things. Because one of the things that we have to also look at is we've been through this journey, right? Where we've looked at certified values and we've said, real life versus
ERAI.
So more important is how can you configure a vehicle that gives you better real life and not do an arms race for certified values. And my only view would be that we've actually spent more time to look at how do we make real life better rather than the certified values. And this in the hands of customers would be more effective, and that's how I think we should be looking at this.
Because one of the commonsensical things that any automobile manufacturer do is they look at weight management.
Yes.
Right. And one of the questions that I have in mind, Anand, is could we have cut down another 50-60 kilos somewhere, or is it something which comes with the baggage of using an existing ICE car and then just electrifying it? What's the thing?
No, I wouldn't take it that way. To the question whether is it possible for you to reduce further, the question has to be answered in the perspective of what are you willing to give away with it. What kind of safety do you want to have is ideal, and what kind of safety are you willing to stay with? We've made a choice. We've made a choice that our cars will be the safest. Our cars will be secure in terms of any exigencies, and that's a choice that's ours. Now, how do we optimize it from an overall perspective is our challenge.
Correct.
And therefore, could we have done lighter? I think if you use some exotic materials, it is possible to go.
Price goes up.
Yeah, but then you see that the value equation starts to change, and therefore you need to make this entire connection of being able to give the right use case features, being able to optimize it in terms of performance, being able to give it also at a right price point. So all of these things have to be looked into collectively.
So somewhere down the line one gets the feeling, Anand, that maybe if you were doing a grounds up EV, a lot of these things could probably get built into the design. Where, for example, if you have an underfloor pack, correct, then the crush zones, for example, which could probably be much more important with the current design, need not get worried about. So the next question then is you've been talking about introducing 10 models by 2025. We are in 2022, almost towards the end. Only 3 come up so far. So can we see something coming up in 2023, grounds up?
Grounds up depends on what you call grounds up.
Okay.
Because if you look at a platform that is designed specifically for a EV, would you call that a grounds up?
Yep.
Yeah. So then things are different than how you would talk about in terms of a skateboard, for example. right? And therefore there is a certain time, we've already spoken
Yes,
about Gen 1, Gen 2 and Gen 3. So I would think this is the last program out of the Gen 1. Gen 2 programs are yet to start, so we will be able to share something more with you as we go on in the future. And then of course you are already aware
A little bit
about.
of distressing news. Do you mean say the Punch EV is not coming because that's also Gen 1?
I don't know what you are saying.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, just for a small correction, but this is the fourth product, because you have you have a Express T Tigor,
Correct.
you have a Nexon, and then the Ziptron Tigor, and now the Ziptron Tiago.
Okay, fair enough. So, couple of questions now related to charging, right? Now, this is the first time we are getting to a sub 10 lakh territory, seriously to sub 10 lakh territory. And a lot of people who were sitting on the fences, and like our transportation minister has also been talking about that, we need more affordable cars, and I think Tata has done that. Now, when one bottleneck goes away, you have others that come in place. And a lot of people now who are on the fence saying, I wanted this car, here it is at sub 10 lakhs, but where's the charging? Because I park on the roadside, right? So, in a way, now that you want to get to the next level, and this is a car which, like we said at the start, is kind of a game changer, and I easily see this doing maybe 10,000, maybe 20,000, real rival to Maruti Suzuki, if you want to call it. But what happens with the constraint of charging? Because, is there some thinking on what Tata Motors or Tata Power or the Tata, group together can do to take care of this problem? Because urban areas, which are going to be primary consumers of this particular model, correct, a lot of people are parking starved, right? And you can't have plug points in roadside charging.
Yeah.
So any thoughts on for these people who are sitting on the border saying, yeah, give me a charging solution also, and I'd kind of love to buy this car?
So I think a couple of things that we are trying to do. One is with Tata Power, we are also sort of approaching societies.
Yeah.
Or resident welfare associations, as you call them, RWAs.
Okay.
And we are wherever they are eager to or willing to set the chargers up, we have already set up chargers.
Right.
So we've already got 200 societies
Up and
running between 3 cities, Pune, Mumbai and Delhi.
Yes.
I do not see any reason why the same model could not be expanded or rolled out into further cities.
Correct.
Many times what we have seen is there is lack of awareness with the societies about how this will work, etc. And sometimes societies also feel that what are they going to get in return.
Correct.
Yeah, so they want a revenue sharing model or something of this sort. Whereas it should be seen as a facility that is being extended to residents of that society itself.
Correct.
And therefore, if people in your group or your viewers today are able to discuss it with their societies and say, boss, if we want to have this, what can we do about it? Tata Power and Tata Motors are more than happy to help out, and we would want to expand this and roll this out as much more as possible.
Sure.
And that, I think, would be the true capacitization of the entire EV network. Yeah.
No, and to some extent, Anand, my view is that we need many more of the 15 ampere chargers rather than the fast chargers.
I agree.
Because that's what is frugal, it's kind of cost effective, and all you need is kind of once a week charging kind of a thing. So
Correct.
one 15 ampere point can probably support 7 cars. And that's what India wants. We don't need a 10 lakh rupees fast charger kind of
And
thing.
Atul, I want to tell you, I mean, I've been speaking to you guys earlier also, but now I have a Nexon Max with me.
Yes.
And believe me, in the last 1.5 months that I have owned the car, I have used it for each and every of my Pune-Mumbai trip.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I am charging only on a 15 amp plug.
Fantastic.
Only on and it works.
Yes.
It absolutely has no problems, and I don't get stranded. Neither do I find that on the day that I want to use my car is half charged. So the convenience and the brilliance of that 15 amp cannot be lost out.
Absolutely. In fact, coming on to charging, maybe we could also spend a little bit of time on the 7.2 kilowatt versus the 3.3, which is your 15 ampere in
Possible.
substance.
And which is why it was important for us to give a solution of the 7.2 also on this car.
Correct.
Because, for example, converts are many. You guys have been leading the entire thing, and therefore it is possible that families now have only electric cars. Both cars in the family are electric cars. With a 7.2 charger, it becomes a jiffy. Yeah,
Half the time.
absolutely.
Correct. So, and it takes 3-phase, or is it a single phase kind of a connection that is required? For
So
7.2?
it can also work on a single phase.
It can also.
Yeah, and there is a choice of whether you want a 3.2 or a 7.2.
Okay, fair enough. Right, so I think fantastic. It was a great experience talking to you, and honestly, I think a lot of people now, like you said, the next 3 months are very important for you and for us as an EV community. And for those of you who've been thinking for a long time that I must look at buying an EV, maybe they should get affordable, and maybe I will wait a little bit more and prices will come down. Of course, Anand is not saying that, but I am saying this. I don't think they're going to come any down further. Battery prices are actually going up worldwide, right? Possibly, again, without quoting Anand, right? I think this is being subsidized already by the company. Forget the government, right? So this is the time, right? And we must all thank Anand and the team at Tata Motors to make that happen. Anand, I am sure you have a success story.
Thank you.
Right, and I am sure that the Nexon heritage is going to be more than matched with the Tiago. We look forward to more news from you, and all the best for.
Thank you very much, Atul.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.